What's up, everybody? This is going to be a bit of a different one. Now, I wake up at the same time every day, but not always by Bergy. Bergy has graduated to no crate, and we're all very excited about that. He gets to sleep just wherever he wants. Kyrie pops right out of bed. It takes me a few minutes. I don't know if she's a witch or what it is. Maybe I'm just lazy. Maybe a little bit of both. Who knows? The reason today's going to be such a weird one is because the South is about to get a giant snowstorm. Now, I grew up in New Hampshire. Their giant snowstorms are not what I would consider giant snowstorms, but, you know, I guess 5 or 6 inches is a giant snowstorm if you don't have the infrastructure to deal with 5 or 6 inches. So what is this actually going to mean for me? I kind of hope not much. I love having my daily routine. My circadian rhythm isn't surprised by anything. My body isn't surprised by anything. My brain isn't surprised by anything. I get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, just like every other workday, and I went to bed at the same time, just like every other, well, evening. Morning routine, almost exactly the same. Actually, entirely exactly the same. Protein oats, eat that, get some pre-workout in me, get ready for the gym, kind of get my mind ready, get the juices flowing, as it were. Now, before some of you come at me with the whole caffeine first thing in the morning doesn't do anything for you, I am acutely aware of this, and I'll probably get into it a little bit more in a different video, but I don't use it for the jolting myself awake. I use it for the focus in the gym. There are plenty of studies on that. You can go find them and look them up yourself. In my lines of work as a physician and a content creator, there is always work to be done. I am never very far away from my computer or at least a phone to be doing something. Now, I usually do my patient research the night before, which is what I did. This morning, I'm just doing content stuff. I think I can see Premiere Pro in the top left-hand corner of that. It certainly does not look like my electronic medical record. Much to my own chagrin, I forgot to record the overwhelming majority of my workout. This is literally my last set of leg press. You can watch my face get redder and redder with each subsequent repetition. I was really struggling at this point, and then I think my face at the end of it really says it all. So why is today weird for me? Well, frankly, you guys might think I'm silly, because today I'm working exclusively by Zoom. Now, I know what you're thinking. Everybody for the last 2 years has been doing their fair share of Zoom work. Unfortunately, as a physician who is taking care of a lot of these patients, doing so over telecommunications is not really a thing. That being said, with this amount of snow and the lack of snowplows and salt and sand in the South where I live, yeah, everything's closed. The patient care team over at my office was spectacular in switching everybody to telehealth, which, frankly, otherwise we wouldn't be seen because the office was closed. I honestly prefer to get ready just exactly as I would on any other workday when I'm going into the office, mainly because I need to get my mind set up for an office day. Now, here is my desk set up, not entirely in one piece. I have to double speed this because there's a lot of stuff that needs to be fixed, and you'll see eventually what my setup looks like. People tend to forget just how much information physicians can get from patients by just having chats with them. Now, please don't judge me for my Merry Christmas couch cushion because, well, I haven't gotten rid of it yet. Besides, I'd much rather get involved in what's in the patient's head as opposed to just what's in the body. Now, I took a couple minutes break just to see how the snow was coming down, and yeah, this is a proper snowstorm, I'm not gonna lie. The good old finger test on top of the wall there, and yeah, we're up to about a little north of an inch. But back to work. Now, not all of my job is just talking to patients. Of course, I have to write all the notes, but then I have to follow up on all the labs that I order. Now, just because somebody gets a lab result back doesn't mean they know how to interpret it. It's my job to say, hey, this is what your labs say, this is what it means to me, here's what I think we should do. Now, quick check downstairs to make sure the dogs are right where I left them. There's Bruin, hasn't moved very much, and then Bergy, yeah, we put this stuff on the couch just so, wet dogs don't ruin couch. Now, as the day continues, the adenosine builds up in the brain, and then that's why we use caffeine midday. Now, this is probably one of the more disappointing things that I've experienced in a long time. Here's an espresso machine. It's like a month or two old. I did everything right. I push the button. I wait. I try to be patient. But no coffee comes out. Oh, the sadness. Oh, the disappointment. And oh, the yawning. And we're back to work. Today, for whatever reason, there was a lot of issues with insurance companies. Now, I did have a number of insurance company phone calls, and before you jump to many conclusions, I will say that everyone I spoke to on the phone was actually very kind and very patient, and really, I could not have asked for a better experience. That being said, it is finally time for some lunch. I took kind of a late lunch today just because that's where the break in the action was, and I figure, let's stay on top of all my stuff, just because, well, frankly, I don't want to get behind. Getting behind is brutal, and then you have to play catch up, and then you're just more tired, and it's just better to not get behind. I usually weigh these out beforehand, put them in Tupperwares, yada yada, but I knew I wasn't going to go to the office, so I decided to do something else with my time. It's not always necessary that you weigh everything out in advance. I know exactly how much I need to be eating at every given time based on my, body composition goals at this point, based on my own health and diabetes and all that good stuff. So I measure it, I weigh it out. It's nice to just kind of not be at your desk when you're working. Now, when I'm in the office, I am always at my desk. So it's easy to be distracted by messages or phone calls or the notes that I still have to write or preparing for the next batch of patients or whatever it is that you're doing. Sometimes it's nice to just kind of take 10 minutes and sit back and relax and have Bergy walk around in the background. That being said, if there was a quasi or even full-blown emergency that one of my patients needed my attention or my nurse needed my attention right away, it would go right to my phone. It's not like I'm away from my computer and just never gonna see anything and not connected. I'm always right there, but it is nice sometimes just to kind of clear your mind a little bit and wait for your next batch of patients and last little bit of notes for the day. This is usually when the motivation to finish the notes really starts to crumble. But I know that I'm home, so I don't have to drive home. And getting done early means I get to spend more time with the dogs, and I get to go out and play in the snow like a good northerner would. I think I actually enjoyed my day as a doctor over Zoom. Now, I can see the cons for some people, meaning okay, they don't leave their house, they're not in the mindset of working, they need to get out just so they don't feel so cooped up, but that's really not a feeling that I have. I get ready the same way every single day. So the mindset thing, not really a problem. The interest in the patients, not really a problem. The productivity, actually probably better now that I'm at my own desk with my own keyboard, my own mouse, my own setup, the whole 9 yards. So I'm going to say this is a pretty positive experience, not going to lie. I know not everybody loves it, but